Coming up, criminals causing trouble on two wheels.
And it's off.
Every rider's biggest bugbear. And how could anyone survive an accident like this? One of the big problems with motorbikes is that just about every tearaway out there thinks he knows how to ride one. This youth in Bedfordshire literally shouldn't be on the road. His mini motorbike is basically a two-wheeled go-kart and is most definitely not allowed on public highways. But it's not just novice bikers who come a cropper when they least expect it. That's because many bikes can produce a huge amount of power and riders can get carried away far too easily. The Dorset police watched this rider reach 60 miles per hour in a 40 zone. Then he performs this dangerous overtake on the brow of a hill without even thinking about it. And then illegally overtakes again on a pedestrian crossing. But since they now have the whole thing on tape, the police have no trouble at all issuing the man with a fixed penalty for £60 and 3 penalty points. On the very same day, the very same cops catch yet another biker behaving badly. Watch carefully for the bike coming the other way at this junction. To pull a wheelie like that in full view of a police car, the rider is either out of control or out of his mind. But it gets worse. He races away, reaching a speed of 90 miles per hour in a 40 zone. And when the police track him down to a chip shop, they find out he's unlicensed and uninsured. The man's bike was crushed and he was fined £415. But just to show there were no hard feelings, they also gave the man a ride home, so his chips wouldn't go cold.
Bikers need to look after themselves more than car drivers because they haven't got airbags, they haven't got seat belts and they haven't got a steel cage to protect them. So if you're going to get on a bike and do battle with the roads, you need a good set of leathers and one of these, a vital and legal requirement, a helmet. And for one rider in particular, this was to prove absolutely essential.
There can be nothing more terrifying for a rider or a driver than having an accident like this one. It took just a momentary lapse of concentration to send Tim Hortop flying off his bike and into a ditch on the A38. Amazingly, the whole thing was caught on tape by the Devon and Cornwall police. But even more amazing, Tim survived this crash to tell the tale.
Tim, that looked absolutely horrific. What do you remember of the accident?
I remember very little about it at all. I was essentially slowing down to enter the lay-by. Everything went black, there was a loud bang, and the next thing I know, I'm lying face down in the lay-by and there's a policewoman standing next to my head asking me if I'm okay.
Before the accident, what did bike riding mean to you?
I loved riding bikes. I've been a motorcyclist since I passed my test when I was 19, and I love motorbikes. The motorbikes, they're either in your blood or they're not, and they're in my blood.
So why aren't you dead?
I was wearing the correct gear. I was wearing a good full-face crash helmet. I was wearing very good clothing with armour in the shoulders and the back and a back protector. And the armour and the helmet took the full brunt of the impact.
You see there, that's frightening, isn't it? Because they took an enormous impact and basically saved your life.
They did, yes. I mean, if I was wearing an open-face helmet, then half my face would probably be missing now.
Psychologically, it must have had a massive impact on your life.
It has. I've given up motorcycling. The adrenaline rush is just so good. You can't better it. Even in a car, it's just not the same. But I just don't feel safe on bikes anymore, and I could never get back on one again.
The man on this bike in Los Angeles does have a helmet, but his safety consciousness ends there. He's flying along a busy freeway at more than 120 miles per hour in a T-shirt. He's wanted for assaulting a police officer with a deadly weapon. The weapon in question is his red Kawasaki Ninja motorbike, which he used to try and run the policeman over. Not much can keep up with a bike like this, so police must track the man by helicopter, knowing he'll come to a stop eventually. However, no one could quite have predicted exactly how he would come to a stop. Incredibly, the man survived. A few days later, he walked out of hospital and straight into jail. Devon and Cornwall motorbike officers PC Phil Snowball and Inspector Robin Durgis are patrolling the A386 in Devon. It's a picturesque stretch of road, but many bikers have died here. When Phil and Robin see a group of riders taking things too casually, they step in to prevent yet another death on their patch.
What did you not do as you came onto and off the roundabout that we would always advocate? Shoulder check, yeah. What do we commonly call that? The lifesaver, yeah. None of them did their lifesaver check coming off the roundabout, which is a basic check when you're most likely to get taken out by a car driver. They've all got the proper jackets on, but you know they're not wearing the leather trousers. Obviously, it's not going to give them adequate protection.
Trousers like that.
Yes.
I've seen the most appalling stuff.
One rider already knows the consequences of not using the right gear in the right way.
So how did this actually happen then, mate? Were you wearing your leather trousers when that happened?
Yeah, actually
biking?
I was. They're rolled up. Funny enough, they're rolled up.
Right.
That's because you don't have your boots done up, isn't it? Look, you nugget. So did your mum ever tell you to do your shoelaces up? How many stitches was that then?
That was just like a flesh, like a scalp wound, you know.
Yeah. Well, there you go anyway. Simple lesson.
Down here.
As far as we're concerned, in Devon and Cornwall, we actively promote the use of bikes on the road, but safe, right? Take it easy. All the best.
Phil and Robin come down hard on any biker not looking out for his own safety. Wearing the right gear and constantly checking your back are essential. Because much of the time, it's not the biker who causes an accident. It's the driver who looks but doesn't see. Amazingly, this rider walked away from this collision. And so did this one, after a car driver approached the roundabout without due care. But as these classic clips show, they were the lucky ones.
When it comes to road safety, there's one group of road users that really need educating, and that's car drivers. 40% of deaths on the road are due to collisions with motorcycles. So to that end, Devon and Cornwall police have got themselves a massive set of wheels, a huge cannon, and the internet to get their message across.
Devon and Cornwall police have created this video as part of a viral marketing campaign. They're selling safety, and they've already racked up nearly 50,000 hits on YouTube. It turns the tables on car drivers who pull out without looking properly and then say, "Sorry mate, I didn't see you," to the bikers they hit. But as we all know, anything can happen in the movies. In this one, the bikers take sweet revenge on absent-minded car drivers. Of course, when a criminal is on the run, all road users need to watch out. The North Midlands Air Support Unit are tracking this thief as he hurtles through a residential neighbourhood.
Traffic mobile is heading towards you now.
They know it's only a matter of time before he makes a mistake.
All mobiles, rider is off. Traffic, police vehicle is with them.
Yeah, can you give us an update as soon as you can regarding any injuries, please? Yeah, well.
Fortunately, when he crashed the stolen motorbike, he only suffered minor injuries and he was arrested. When I heard we were doing a programme about motorbikes, I asked for some biker's armour, but I wasn't expecting anything quite this heavy. Still, it gives me the chance to remind bikers everywhere, wear the right gear Ride safely and keep your eyes open. And car drivers, look out for bikes on the road. Otherwise, you might have to deal with the crushing reality of running over someone much more vulnerable than you.
In a bid to reduce the high level of casualties amongst motorcyclists, the driving test for bikers is being toughened up. Motorcyclists will have to prove that they have a much higher degree of skill and are much more aware of the hazards than they currently do. It's part of a Europe-wide strategy that it's hoped will act as a brake on casualty levels of motorcyclists and moped riders. That's all for this edition of Police Camera Action. So till next time, let's be careful out there.